A pattern that I have personally been observing and witnessing along my journey is wanting something to be aligned, feel fully resonant, and honoring and observing the truth that it just isn't. Wanting something to be aligned and it just isn't. And for me, these truths have shown up within various relationships, some friendships, some family relationships, some business related connections, endeavors, ideas. It's shown up many times for me this year a lot. So we're in 2023 right now. And it's fascinating because it really does, it hits the heart, when you want something to be something that it's not, or you want a relationship to be something that it's not, or you want a person, circumstance, or experience to be something like that it's not. It's almost like a grief energy of what could have been, but maybe never was. Or maybe it was resonant at one point, but you've outgrown it or ascended out, risen out of those energies and risen out of those patterns and frequencies. And there's so many layers to this. And it's a really interesting observation because it can feel confusing to have that internal sense of a conflict where you're wanting it to be like this, but in reality, it's like that. And it's also so very clear that, this is not a full alignment. This is not a full resonance. It may be a partial resonance, partial alignment, pieces of it, aspects of it feel correct or feel comfortable or feel known. And when you start to observe that slight disharmony or slight dis-ease or slight misalignment, it brings you into that deeper clarity of, maybe previously when I met this person or connected with this person, or when this original circumstance or idea or relationship was beginning, my energy was different. My resonance was different. My frequency was at a different place. I had attracted that, we'll just say, person or circumstance from where I was then. And some experiences, some people, some relationships will grow and evolve with us at different stages, at different seasons, at different vibrations and frequencies as we're on our journey. Some are meant to be here for a lifetime. Some are meant for only a season. Others come into your experience for a reason. And it's important to practice detachment within your relationships and within your dynamics of relationship, so that if you do find yourself outgrowing or evolving out of or not feeling aligned with certain energies or frequencies, dynamics, and you find yourself in that space, you can allow yourself to continue growing, moving, and evolving and walking forward on your journey, and letting them do the same thing because they're on their own journey too. And just because you're no longer a resonant or perfectly aligned and expansive energy match and energy exchange, It doesn't mean that you have to love them any less or judge them at all. This is a space of acceptance of that truth, acceptance of what you know in your heart, soul, body is resonant for you, and what you know is no longer a match for you in this experience. And sometimes that takes, in my experience, it takes a little trial and error. It's like, oh, this is feeling really good. This is great. This is working out. Wonderful. And then sometimes for me personally, I've then, connected with that person or environment or space. And I'm like, something just feels a little different. Something feels a little bit off. Something doesn't feel quite fully resonant. And I can't necessarily put my finger on any rhyme or reason other than it just feels not fully there. And then I will revisit it however much time seems to pass, just going with the natural ebbs and flows. And I'll say, okay, yeah, this is still not the vibe for me. Or, oh, that was just like, just maybe an off day or something was funky and things are fine now, So as we are witnessing these truths of things that we want to be resonant, but truly in the truth of the experience, it's not. It's really important to trust what you feel. Trust the resonance. Trust the opposite of that, which is the dissonance or a dis-ease or not fully in harmony, not fully aligned, right? And allowing that to be okay and welcoming in again that energy of acceptance. I accept who I am on my journey and my path. I accept what feels correct, true, and right for me. I accept and trust and follow this internal compass and this internal guidance system. I trust what my body feels. I trust what I am sensing. I trust this shift in the energy or in the dynamic or in the resonance. I trust that. And I also accept the person or circumstance in its truth as a not aligned match for me and my energy with where I'm at right now. Because we are in a consistently dynamic change in our energy. And on a soul path, on an evolutionary journey, as you grow and as you transform and as you raise in your vibration and as you transcend your shadow aspects and you transcend your shadow patterns, there are going to be people and circumstances that you just no longer vibe with, right? So if you used to be caught up in all the drama with your friends or with your coworkers or in family stuff, wherever this is showing up for you, this is just what's coming through. If you used to be kind of caught up in those scenarios and caught up in other people's junk and muck and stuff, and then you're finding yourself like, I actually don't connect with that energy anymore. I actually connect with people who are, living really beautifully and moving forward in their lives. And that doesn't say that there's no struggle or challenge or things that we're overcoming and growing through. It just means there's a completely different energy of being responsible for yourself and taking ownership for your life and moving yourself in a forward direction and not having drama or chaos or pity parties or staying in toxic and abusive cycles. And it can be really challenging to also be on the other side and looking into the box, right? When other people are going through their own challenges and lessons and struggles, sometimes it's challenging to be able to see it and witness it and sometimes you might feel called to like get into the dirt with them and get into the mud with them and, help them fight their battles in whatever way that looks. But that's really also not up to you. And if that was a pattern and dynamic that you were embracing in your relationships, and now you've transcended and ascended, risen out of that, transformed out of that, and now you're seeing it all play out still in front of you, that can also bring up feelings of helplessness or feeling hopeless, of like, and just feeling challenged by it, just in general, feeling challenged by it, because it's not in your control. It's not up to you. And you're also coming into that reality of like, oh shit, this is their stuff to deal with. This is their mess. And I'm seeing it and I'm observing it and I'm witnessing it. And I can support them if they desire, but most often they don't, because they may just want to stay in their own funky, swirly stuff. And that has to be okay too. Like, it has to be okay. And you can still hold your own standards and hold your own boundaries and hold your own energy and say, this is not something that I am engaging with. This is not something that I am interacting with. This is not an energy that I'm going to play in. This is not the pool, the sandbox, or the place for me, And it's challenging to do that. It's challenging to stand in that ownership of your own energy too, and what is true and right and correct for you, when it is different for somebody else who's having a completely different experience than you are. And again, the medicine around this is accepting your standards, accepting your boundaries, accepting what is correct and true and right and aligned for you, and letting the other parties involved, the other people or circumstances, or maybe it's just one person, whatever the dynamic is, letting their stuff be their stuff, and just send love. Send them love. Send them prayers. Send them love and prayers that they heal, that they resolve, that they find their own highest path forward, and send that love to them. That is always available for you. So if you ever do feel that like hopelessness, or that I can't control this and it's making me, feel uncomfortable or spin out because I just want to like grab control of this scenario, but I can't because it's not even my responsibility to do that. Your responsibility is your energy. And you can always, always, always pray for people, pray for their circumstance, pray for their challenges, and send them love. That is one of the best things that you can do, is send them love. Meanwhile, you are allowing yourself to honor your resonance, honor what is aligned and true for you, even when it is challenging to look those truths in the face, and what is illuminated from that, and saying, shit, I really wish that this was aligned. And I really wish this could have been this way, or I really wish it was like it used to be, or whatever the could have, would have, should have stories that are showing up for you. Like whatever that is, just acknowledge it, honor it, and accept the actual truth and the actual reality, free of the illusions. And that is the space for you to allow in that acceptance and trust your resonance. Trust that vibrational alignment. Your body knows. Your intuition knows. Your heart knows. Your soul knows. And it is up to you to tune in and listen to that inner guide. Not what somebody else thinks it should be, not what anybody else is telling you it should be, not what anybody else's expectations are, not forcing anything to be any certain way that it is supposed to be in someone else's eyes. None of that is ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is what is vibrationally aligned in your heart, soul, and body. And there is no one else living in that space other than you. You are the only one, my love. And when you learn to listen to that, when you learn to trust that, when you strengthen that muscle and that connection with your inner guide, with your intuition, with your vibrational alignment and resonance, even when these experiences show up that are like, damn, I really wanted this to be aligned and I wanted it to be this way and it's not. It's a beautiful opportunity to trust, to surrender, and to open up to the possibilities and opportunities and connections and relationships and dynamics that are meant for you, that are in full soul alignment and resonance for you. And the faster you unattach, the faster you detach from these illusions, the faster the aligned matches are going to come in for you, because now you've opened up the space for them to come in. And you've honored your true alignment, which then calls them in. I know it's not an easy space to release these attachments or meanings and relationships and dynamics. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, cut these people off from your life or cut them out of your life. That I'm not saying that. Sometimes that is the next best step, but it doesn't have to be. It's really about the choice that you are making to honor, trust, and accept what you know as true for you, and to uphold your standards and boundaries of where you are prioritizing, placing, investing, and expending, exchanging your energy with these people or circumstances. It comes down to your standards of boundary and what you are choosing to participate in or not, what you are choosing to interact with and exchange with or not. And loving regardless of what that means in what the dynamics end up being in the physical. Some relationships may just dissolve. Others might come in and out of your life in different seasons or scenarios. Others might just elevate to meet you at that new level once you've allowed these energetic shifts to take place within you. There's so many possibilities and ways that this can unfold for you. So we're also not, connecting to or attaching to any of those outcomes. We're surrendering the outcomes. We're releasing any of that expectation energy and any of that pressure and any of that force. And we're surrendering to the straight up truth of the internal vibrational alignment and resonance that we know deep within our hearts, our souls, and our body and our intuition. And using that as fuel to guide us forward and to open up to the highest divine aligned connections, relationships, opportunities, scenarios, all of the blessings meant for you and calling them forward through trusting your full alignment while also trusting what is not in full alignment. I pray this expression and transmission serves you deeply on your journey today. I would love to know if you've experienced this in your own life in some way, how that's shown up for you. If you're navigating that right now, let me know. And just know that you're never alone, and we are all on this journey together to continue rising and evolving. And I'm so honored and blessed to have you here. I look forward to our next divine encounter soon. Namaste.